Today was the 87 and I just did my meditation. And surprisingly, because today is also a non-microdosing day, but I was able, I hope you can hear me despite the wind. I was able to be in my body as well as with the sounds. I actually meditated with clothes washing in the washing machine, so there were noise, there was construction outside of my house, so there were noises around, there were physical sensations. At some point I felt uncomfortable, like my feet hurt, my back hurt, and instead of moving around non-stop to find a more comfortable position, I just stayed there. And there were also many thoughts as usual, but they didn't take up the whole space as they usually do. I could stay present with the noises, with the sensations in my body, and eventually I felt really still. And it's hard to describe because stillness is just a word, and I'm sure there are very subtle nuances to this experience, but I felt still, and somehow I wouldn't say my body didn't hurt anymore. I still could, if I wanted to, focus on the fact that my legs were not as comfortable as I would have liked, that my back was a bit tense, but that seemed to, it's so hard to explain, to not bother me as much. I was just there. Yeah, it's really a stillness, but not a stillness in the sense that you're just not moving. It was like my body was still by itself on its own, like something, sort of like I was frozen a bit, but not frozen because it was still very alive. And I wanted to stay there because I was, obviously my mind was like, oh, there must be something going on here. If I stay there long enough, maybe I'll wake up. But the alarm went off. I turned it off. I stayed for a bit, and then I had things to do, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna try to stay in that state as much as possible with my eyes open and while doing my things. And what became sort of apparent is that I was not the one. It didn't feel like I had a choice whether I would decide to not do the things I wanted to do and just stay there as long as possible, or just go on with my day and do the things. And it felt robotic. It felt like I washed my hands robotically, mechanically, like putting sunscreen on happened very mechanically, very automatically. Like, sort of like I had decided to do that. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to do that. But it was not a mental thing anymore. Yeah, that was strange. So I had a fun meditation. Like, I could say something happened, although nothing happened, but my sensations and perceptions were a bit different. So that was it for my day 85. No, 87, I think.